Hi everybody, it's Jennifer Zick, and I'm delighted to be with you today to do a quick overview on Authentic Brand's core values. I know that if you're watching this video and you're a member of our team, we've already talked about core values, but it's always worth revisiting who we are, why these values matter to us, and what it means and what it looks like to live these out day to day as representatives of the Authentic Brand community. So let's dive in. Why do core values matter? Is this just an exercise we do because we run our business on EOS and we have a VTO and we need to have core values? No. Core values are really important to defining who we are. It is a guidepost. It helps us understand who we are, what we believe, how we behave, and what we want to be known for. As we build a business and as we build personal brands within this business, we're also creating a legacy of sorts. And our brands keep ourselves and our actions in check with how we want to be remembered and represented in our market and in our relationships. So at Authentic Brand, we take our values really seriously. These are our criteria for how we hire, when we fire, and how we think about all the relationships that matter inside of our business with our employees, of course, but also with our clients and our partners and our vendors. We're looking for values alignment all the way around so that we can have strong, meaningful relationships and really authentic connections. Our core values are really our true north. They are the measuring stick by which we consider relationships, opportunities, and like I said, additions to our team or changes that we need to make as we continue to grow. So we seek out shared values. We reward and celebrate values when we see them in action. We reflect on our values when we need to think about how we respond in challenging or unique situations. We refer to our values when we need to provide feedback to clients and vendors and partners and especially to each other. Most importantly, we're committed to owning these values and really living them out. We're not going to be perfect because we're human and we screw up, but we want to be making progress all the time and we want to be consistent and we want to be progressive in how our values are demonstrated in the way that we speak and interact. So we'll start with the obvious value, which is reflected even in our brand name, authenticity. These values that I'll share with you today have been guiding Authentic Brand since day one when I sat down at my kitchen table to start building my first ever VTO, Vision Traction Organizer, or business plan for the business. And I'm going to apologize because my face here in the video is covering up a few of the words. So I'll try to speak around those words and hopefully you get the big picture. So as Authentic Brand representatives, we need to be real and approachable people. Of course, we want to project a professional image, but we want that to also be approachable. We want to be human. We want to project a personality that people want to connect with, that builds value in their relationships. So we want to build trusting and authentic relationships, and we always want to speak the truth, of course, in love and filtered professionally, but we want to address truth and feedback directly and thoughtfully because we really care about the people in our community. So we don't hold back. We bring our full selves appropriately into every situation, and we look to build real trusting relationships. What this would look like if it were not in action would be maintaining some kind of facade that we can't carry through authentically in our relationships, being very superficial, or even things like spamming people through email or LinkedIn and really approaching relationships from a self-centered perspective instead of how do we connect authentically and how do we serve and how do we help first before we think about ourselves. So that's what authenticity is, and that's what it isn't at Authentic Brand. Next up is wisdom. Wisdom should never be confused with knowledge. Of course, we want experienced and knowledge-filled people on our team who understand marketing and business and strategy and leadership and growth and everything that has to do with the actual work that we do. But more important than that applied business and real-world experience is the wisdom that comes from successfully navigating challenges and relationships over time and growing in our ability to relate with other people as well as bring information and knowledge to the table. So wisdom is expressed at Authentic Brand in the fact that we are confident, not the same as cocky, but we are confident leaders. We trust ourselves, We have a strong and thoughtful voice in our client relationships and guiding their strategies, and we trust each other. And that's a big part of our mindshare community. We value and we respect each other's different perspectives and experiences. We love diversity at Authentic Brand in our client and partner and vendor relationships and our team relationships because it gives us an opportunity to see the world through a different lens. We love diversity in every aspect of the word and in the experiences that our careers have afforded us. By bringing together all those diverse perspectives, experiences, personalities, and lifestyles, we all get better and stronger together. And we welcome that, we celebrate it, and we embrace it. And we are a team of active learners. And we're not only here to learn and soak up value for ourselves, but we're here to give value back. And because we're confident leaders, we know we have something of value to contribute and bring to the table, so we do it with passion and zeal. We're constantly seeking to learn, to grow, to elevate our own experiences, and to elevate those around us. Next up, humility. Sometimes people get confused about how you can be both confident and humble, and perhaps that's a little bit connected to this idea of Minnesota nice since we're based here. But they are two distinctly different and complementary values. We can be confident because we have a proven track record and we hire for rigorous credentials and experience. And if you're here, it's because you deserve to be here and we believe in you. But you're also here because you know that despite everything you know, you're not the smartest marketer in the room and you're not trying to prove yourself to be that or the smartest person in your department, right? A humble attitude comes with the ability to listen well. And I admit that I'm still growing in this area. I've been gifted with a lot of words and I talk sometimes more than I listen. So I'm even growing in this value. But we want to listen well, to truly seek to understand another person's perspective and experience. We want to both seek out and welcome all kinds of feedback, whether we looked for it or didn't look for it, whether we wanted it or not. We want to appreciate and value that feedback because whether it's accurate or just a perspective or a perception that we need to work to address, having that feedback allows us to get better and smarter and stronger in our relationships, and then we can speak the truth in love and we can evaluate what we need to learn and grow about ourselves. So we don't always get it right. I've already talked about the fact that we're humans. We screw up, we mess up, we don't always get it right. But we will always work to make it right. And this statement acknowledges that sometimes we can't actually just make it right. You know, in most relationships, getting to true resolution on something requires both parties to participate. We can't force somebody else to forgive us or to apologize or to accept our explanation of how things went and understand us at all times. But we can do our part to make it right. And if we're fortunate and we've done the rest of living our values well, we'll be in relationships with people who share our values and want the same positive outcomes. And we will almost all the time actually get to make it right. And finally, passion. I know that I'm a person who exudes a lot of energy. And energy isn't the only way that passion can be conveyed. There are wonderfully diverse personalities on our team. Some who are the calm and the steady in the storm. Others who, like myself, are full of, spit and vinegar and volume and really external energy. But passion takes a lot of different shapes. And the way that we articulate our passion at Authentic Brand is a little bit a layer underneath the surface. It's that we care very deeply about our clients and our colleagues. We really love to help businesses grow. That's why we're here. We don't just want a good job. We don't just want to work with people we enjoy. We want to see the results of our labor and have an impact and make a difference and really help businesses change the world and grow their teams and feed more families and do the things that good entrepreneurial growth businesses can do. Passion at Authentic Brand also means that we do everything with excellence. That doesn't mean we're perfect. We don't always get it right, but we always look to make it right. We want to continue growing in our wisdom and all these other values, and we want to exude self-discipline. This role, this business that we're in, many of the roles in our business are senior executive consulting roles, and that means we're expected to be leaders in every relationship that we have. Of course, we need to be confident, humble, all the other things we've talked about. But self-discipline allows us, the people who are running the business at Authentic Brand, to run the process and allow the people of the organization to run their role and do it with great success. So we look to add to our team people who are self-disciplined, who are constantly raising their own bar, not waiting for someone to raise it for them. And of course, self-disciplined leaders always follow through. We want to be a team that does what we say we're going to do. This world is full of people who overpromise and underdeliver, and companies that overpromise and underdeliver. We want to constantly underpromise and overdeliver, consistently showing up, staying true to our word, following through, and doing so with excellence. So we don't just send willy-nilly emails with typos. We don't just turn over a document for client review before it's buttoned up. We lean on each other. We're transparent. We're not perfect. We work as a team to make sure that the work that we're doing is the highest caliber work, and we're always elevating the quality of what we're delivering into the world. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, we are a team that values generosity. When we first started the business, the way that we lived that out was through our 2 or More program. We were working almost exclusively in the Twin Cities, and we were a tiny team of just a few people. But I recognized early on that our tiny team had influence and spheres of connection that we could pull together to collaborate for greater impact. So initially, we did that through large group volunteer initiatives locally, through with nonprofits and organizing people to crowd swarm with us to those volunteer opportunities. Today, we're activating generosity in a lot of different ways, but underneath the execution of it, here's what generosity means for Authentic Brand. We share liberally. We're not thinking about what we get in return. We're thinking about what can we give of value between our knowledge, our connections, and our resources. We have all worked in environments and with people who withhold, who control, who try to preserve and keep secret their connections and their experiences because they're looking to elevate and protect themselves and their turf. That is the opposite of what we do at Authentic Brand. We believe that when we give, we receive back. So we are here to help with no strings attached. Often we get inquiries from companies that aren't the right fit for us, or individuals who might be looking for help other than what we actually do and sell. People looking for jobs, people asking for vendor connections, people looking for marketing expertise that's not our focus. We want to create a magical dandelion effect with every person that touches into our business. We want their experience with us to be positive, pleasant, professional, and that they feel enriched by touching into Authentic Brand's community, because even if we could not help directly, we looked for a way to help them or encourage them indirectly and help them feel heard, supported, and seen. And we know that when we create those little moments of that dandelion effect, we're building a community of brand ambassadors that will spread the word about Authentic Brand and the positive experiences they've had with us. And so we give as generously as we can, and that doesn't mean that we're foolish with our time. I know I get more requests for networking meetings and general assistance in other categories of business than I could possibly ever fit onto my calendar. And so this does mean you have to navigate with grace, saying no frequently, or now is not the right time, or I'm not the right connection. But here's how I actually can help right now despite that limitation. I'm always trying to find, and we should always be trying to find, some way that we can help move them forward and provide a positive experience with Authentic Brand. And then finally, we prioritize time to give back to our communities. All of you who are on our team are doing this personally in your own ways, whether it's in your local schools, churches, places of worship, nonprofits that you serve in, organizations that you support. You guys and gals are generous and you're involved, and we celebrate and support that. And Authentic Brand is committed to finding ways to keep you involved as much as you would like to be in industry-related and community impact-focused initiatives. So we want to always be activating the spirit of generosity. Thank you so much for hanging in with me as we reviewed Authentic Brands values. I hope this has been a helpful overview. And if you have any questions, my door is always open, literally or virtually. So please stop by. I'd love to chat with you about these values. Thank you for being awesome ambassadors of Authentic Brand in the way that you live, the way that you work, the things that you say, and all that you do. We're absolutely blessed to have you on our team.